Rightio. Mic's working. We're here. All right. First stream of 2025, and we'll look to do more of them. Impromptu ones, not planned. So we're just going to do a prediction for the season, go through the entire Collingwood fixture, and then just figure out how we work around some of our bogey teams, some of the interstate games, and try and make sense of what our upper ceiling is versus our lowest ceiling. And granted, this is just a prediction. So more than anything, it's just to have a chat with all of you who are here and just to get the ball rolling in 2025. I just was looking for something to do, and there's not a lot of content to force out right now. So I figured the best thing to do is just something like this where we can just have a punt on where Collingwood might be, and we can discuss the fixture at length. And I don't know the fixture off the top of my head right now, so it'll be good to reinforce what we have moving forward. You know, the obvious ones is the GWS that comes to mind, the Port Adelaide game, and then Carlton on a Thursday night is going to be another one. So these are some games I'm mindful of, but I want to know, all right, when we get to the second half of the year, what does that look like? Where does the stretch get a bit iffy? And if we can try and predict some bolters in this year, and just have a look at, we know what did you need to make finals last year? Like, let's have a look at that quickly, right? What did you need to make finals last year? Points. 52 points plus percentage got you into the finals. So that was 13 wins. Collingwood had 12 wins, 9 losses, 2 draws, which killed us, and our percentage ultimately stopped us short of the starting line for finals. So 13 wins seems to be the benchmark. And in years gone by, what does that look like? 2023 was 12 wins, 22, 12 wins, 21, 11 got you in back then. 2020's that's an asterisk season because of the shortened season. So we'll go to 2019, 12 wins, 2018, 13 wins. So for the most part, the average team, the win, I guess, to get you into finals, 12 wins really is the benchmark. And unfortunately, we were in a year where that just didn't get you over the line. So what do you do? But we're gonna do a prediction and see where it all falls into place. Well, I'm keen to get back into it. It's felt like a long off season. Thankfully, the season starts in February, at the end of February, and we'll get right back into it, and we'll do everything. What are we doing? Pies footy in 2025. What are we doing? More or less the same, a little bit more, and yeah, not a lot of boxes were missed last year from like content production. So if I can keep that up for this year, then that'll be a win. So we'll get started soon. We'll let a couple people roll through, and let me say g'day to a few of the early comers here. All right, let's go, champ. We're back. We are back. Soul Killer, how you doing? Happy New Year. Benny, Happy New Year to you, man. I know it's too early to think of that, but do you think 2026 will be a hard year for us when we lose a lot of our premiership players? It's hard to foresee that, but if I was to foreshadow, maybe. Hey, Chris, how you going? Hope you're doing well. As a Collingwood fan, the only team that really scares me is St Kilda. Woody says, as a Collingwood fan, the only I see what you're trying to do there. Pretending you're a Collingwood fan, huh? Ella Manny, the hunger will be back this year. We'll be in every game. Happy New Year to Ella. Koronia Pala. How are ya? What have you been doing? Christmas, New Year, Manny? Just family, or what's the go? Yeah, Soul Killer. Woody's actually a St Kilda fan. He's taking the piss. He's not a Collingwood fan. He's a St Kilda fan, which is why he wrote that sentence. Oh, fuck! That was messy. That was raunchy, wasn't it? That's right, Boomer. That is right. win the draws, and we play finals. It's that simple, but that's in the past now, right? Other teams will argue, well, you lose the game against North Melbourne, you lose those draws, and we're even further away from finals. So it's a double-edged sword, that conversation, I feel. If you're on the side of Collingwood, you'll make the point that if we won this game or just didn't, that draw was a win, it's a different conversation. And other teams will say it the other way around. If you lost that draw, you're not making finals. Sorry. Chris, how do you think Collingwood will go this year? Go Pies. I think we'll go well. We'll find out. If you stick around long enough, Chris, we'll be able to predict. We'll do our best to predict where Collingwood will finish this year. And what's going to happen is we're going to get the website that we're using to auto tip all the other fixtures. It's not an algorithm, but it will put teams based on where they think they'll predict where they're going to finish. And then what we'll do is we'll alter every Collingwood result and talk through them one by one. Kynan, how are you, brother? Good to see you. What have you been doing over Christmas and New Year? What's been happening? In order to make top 8 is to not have many injuries, no more draws, have someone or more players to score 40 plus goals and have a healthy Degoe. That's on our wish list, isn't it? Injuries for any team, right? Any team that gets injuries, it's always going to be an uphill battle. Feels like it's been years. It's been a few months, man. It's been tough, hey. No, not as many live streams when the games aren't on. Unbeaten, calling it first. Now that's an unpopular opinion for the general AFL world, isn't it, Benny? Just being flat out. Yeah, what do I get up to? Mainly family. And then I went to a festival called Riva for the first time on New Year's Day. So that was nice. But I had work the next day, so it wasn't anything too eventful, but it was fun. It was fun. Who's a team you feel the most to face up with? Right now, the obvious one is Hawthorn. I think Hawthorn, they've just been our bogey side for the longest time. That's what I think. So let us pull up the predictions. Let me share the screen. Give me one moment. Present. Okay, we see if we can. Give me 1 second. I'm going to edit this. See if I can. Let me try edit this. I want to make the setting a little bit different. Camera slot. I want this to be full. Add item, media slot. All right, here we go. Still not sure you believe in the Hawks forward line, Woody. Even with Mitchell Lewis potentially coming back, what have they got? Nick Watson, Jack Gunston, Cal Shadia, Jack Inovan, of course, unfortunately. Thing is, when your team is moving well, when your team is operating, the ball movement before it gets to the forward line is what makes a difference. All right, how's that? Okay. We're nearly there, guys. Just bear with me. With the players we got in this year, it's top 4 or it'll be a poor year. Yeah, it would be disappointing if we don't make top 4. But a lot of things have to go right, though. Rectangle. Once I edit this, and then get the media slot forward. Oh, that's an alarm. Yeah, good call. Just seem to rely on youth, and they can be hit and miss. Yeah, they are a young team. They're definitely a young team. So, give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm nearly there, I promise. Circle. Save as new layout. And I think we're there. All right, that will do for now. That will be sufficient. If I zoom this in, let's go ladder predictor, okay? So we're going to do ladder prediction. And what we'll do is we'll auto tip the entire season. Mm-hmm. Mm. So it's pretty. Sorry, guys, I'm starving. I haven't had a chance to eat. So it seems pretty reasonable, right? Well, this is what it looks like for now, but it seems like there's some sort of algorithm that puts these teams into place as to where they may end up at the end of the year. So let's go here. Let's select Collingwood. All right. We'll zoom in a bit more. All right. There we go. Okay. GWS versus Collingwood at the Sydney Showground, guys. So I need all of you to contribute. What's going to happen? So this is the night before Sydney have a public holiday. So it'll be a bit of a, not a showcase game, but quite a lot of eyes will be on this game, being the opening round at Collingwood side. And then the fact that they have it's on a Sunday at the Sydney Showground. So where are we going? Fact, consider both teams are completely healthy, and we take off the rose-colored glasses off for a little bit, and we think, okay, can we actually lose this? Let's give it to the Giants and get off to a good start. Confidence peaking. All right, I think this will be a good game. I think Collingwood will win by 15 points. That's my opinion. Does anybody else want to share their say? What do you reckon? Hoping Schultz for a better 2025, says Ben. Yeah. Yeah. What would I, percentage wise, if I wanted to objectify it, I'd probably want Shooter to improve by 15%. Stringer debut. Good point, Boomer. This is where Stringer will debut. And Stringer, historically, he does pretty well against us. So that will be a good spectacle. Yeah, we'll go 16 points. Done. Okay. And then this is massive, right? So we've clearly had the wood over Port Adelaide for the good part of the last couple of years, at least. We've pumped them a couple times at the G. I remember last season we were down by 5 goals early in the game, and it looked like we were about to capitulate. And then we just bounced back and ended up giving it to them, going back the other way. And this is the Dan Houston game at the G. So it's not going to be the same as what it would be like going to Adelaide Oval, but this will be a good start to the season, a bit of a narrative. It's, I don't know. I feel like Collingwood they've just got them mentally at the moment. I'm going to say, I reckon Collingwood by 19. Yeah. If there's one team we've been able to finish or kill early in the game, it's been Port Adelaide. Will that happen again? Will they want some sort of vengeance? Is it personal between them and Dan Houston? I'll go 20 points. And if you want to add any player predictions, like what's Dan Houston? Do you think Dan Houston gets 25-1 off the halfback flank? Collingwood by 22. Boomer says Pies by 10. We had to back last year. We nearly dropped it. Yeah, we had to back it up. I'm hoping Perham and Houston have a good year. Me too, Chris. Me too. Let's go Pies by 22 as as Ben has suggested. All right, next we have Western Bulldogs versus Collingwood. Give me one moment, guys. I just got to quickly put my charger into my laptop. I did forget about that one important thing. Okay. Here we go. Nearly there. USB-C. So many cables I have to plug in before these live streams. It's absurd. It is absurd. I don't think Dan Houston is going to be available for the Giants game. I don't think so. And yes, maybe that would be nice, Woody. 3 votes, Dan Houston. Bulldogs versus Collingwood. Let's have a look. This game always has a bit of back and forth. We did really well against them in that game when we were undermanned. And this is at the G as well. So remind me, guys, is this is Western Bulldogs 100th anniversary game, 150th or something? Can somebody help me out here? So this is a big show. It's a big showcase game for exhibition or whatever you want to call it. This is the game of the season for the Bulldogs. So yeah, it'll be tough. We did well when we had those injuries in the mid part of the year. Bontempelli got us in the end. Laughing Magpie, 100 years in the competition. So it seems like every team against us will have their prime time game, and it happens to be against us. They asked for it, Manny. Okay. What are we saying? Can we go 3-0? Like, we'd want to go 3-0, wouldn't we? That'd be nice. I think Collingwood versus Dogs at the G. Let's go. Yeah, Collingwood are notoriously difficult to beat at the G. Bulldogs don't play at the G a whole lot. We play well against them. We do match up relatively well. This is going to be a barn burn. Let's call it 5 points. All right. Next fixture. All right. So last year we were 0-3. So can we reverse that and go something like 0-5, 0-6, 5-0 or 6-0? So Collingwood versus Carlton on a Thursday night. All right. I'm putting my hands up early. So we beat Carlton twice last year, and in 2023, we beat them. Sorry, guys. I think my screen just carked it. 1 second, guys. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Technical difficulties, I reckon. 1 second, guys. Not too sure what's going on here. Is my stream lagging at all for you guys? Am I moving? I need to know, is the video lagging? The video is lagging or not? Yeah, it is. Sorry, I'm not too sure what that's about. Let me close some programs and that should help. Give me 1 second and then we'll get back into it. Bear with me. The computer is a bit sus. It's like, why are you streaming? I thought you were finished. It's been a while. So I think the computer's still cooking it up. Close all that. How about that? Let's close this. Oh, good. Goodness gracious, guys. Yeah, we're getting there. Is it maybe the heat? Yeah. Bear with me, guys. I'm still with you. I just don't know what's going on with the camera. Give me 1 sec. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go laptop camera for a bit. Lift your laptop. It is pretty hot. So if I lift that up, it stops kind of lagging. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my fan on the laptop. Give me 1 second. Bear with me, guys. Okay. All right. Get it off the ground and get air through it. So, all right. So Woody's our technical difficulty manager here. I'll get you on the payroll, mate. It's not the internet, it's the laptop. The laptop's just cooking right now. So that's something. The thing is, the rest of the computer's fine. Elade Yorgis, we're having technical difficulties. The camera is not keeping up with us right now, but it's because the laptop is overheating apparently. That'd be nice. I'm still 10 subs from my you'll get there soon, Woody. Don't worry, mate. You post a couple more videos, you'll be there. All right, let's go back to the screen, and don't worry about me for now. As long as you guys can see what I'm talking about, that's all that matters, and then we'll deal with the laggy camera. So here's what I was saying anyway. So we beat Carlton twice last year. We split the difference in 2023. What about this? We give Carlton this one. Thursday night, big game. They've been disappointing for 30 years, so they're going to win this big Thursday night showcase game. We'll get them in the early fixture. We're already 3-0. Let's give them this one. So let's give them Carlton by 2 points, okay? I know you guys are going to hate me for that, but I'm going to give it to them. I think it makes sense. As much as that hurts, okay? All right. I say the Carlton game will be very tight again. I agree. 100%. Next game. So this is gather round. Collingwood versus Sydney. Now, this is a massive game. How do we go against Sydney last year? They pumped us early in the game. Big time. They pumped us big time. So, what do you reckon? Adelaide Oval. We play pretty well at Adelaide. I don't know what Sydney's record is like playing at Adelaide Oval. All right, I'll be able to determine that. Let me check AFL tables. Sydney. We'll go AFL tables. Sydney. And we'll have a look how they go at Adelaide. Yeah, we do play Adelaide Oval better than Manny. Season records. Win-loss records. Here we go. No. Go season summary, perhaps. Nope. Okay, well, how'd they go away? How do they typically go away? Finals 4 against. Game records? No, can't find it. They lost to Port. That is true. Okay. Manny, there we go. The fact that they lost to Port by 120 last year at Adelaide Oval, I'm going to take that to the bank. I reckon we're going to show up Sydney. We showed them up in 2023 in that one fixture we had against them. Adelaide Oval, we play well. We're undefeated in gather round, aren't we? Right? So Collingwood by 26. All right. So at this point, we're 4-1, guys. We're cruising. We're looking good. And I think do we get the bye before or after the gather round? Always close game. You reckon, Stephanos? Stephanos, how you going? How'd you go for New Year's and Christmas? What'd you get up to? Just family? All right. Brisbane. This is tough. Brisbane versus Collingwood. Always a tough game. We very rarely beat we beat them at the Gabba last year. We beat them at the Gabba last year, but the reigning premiers. They typically do very well against us at the Gabba. I'm going to give this to Brisbane. Yeah, I'm going to have to go Brisbane by 30. Yeah, family. Premiership favourites now, you reckon, Manny? Fun fact, we have the longest winning streak at Adelaide Oval out of any team in the league. Love that. So, Saurus, are you saying active win streak or just longest win streak ever? And whatever your answer is, how many wins is that right now? Okay. So we are 1, 2, 3, 3-1, 4-1. We're 4-2 going into Anzac Day. All right. So the typical villain against Collingwood in these fixtures is Zach Merritt, Jake Stringer. Jake Stringer's not there anymore. People are too crash hot on Essendon right now. And it is Anzac Day, so it's always going to be a hotly contested game. So I reckon we go Collingwood by 15. Is that fair? Longest win streak ever. 9. Wow. There you go. No Danaher at Brisbane. I think they'll still be all right, man. Our home game as well. All right. Collingwood statement win on Anzac Day. So this will take us to 5-2. So we're all hoping that Collingwood finish in the top 4. So we're definitely trending to that right now. No injuries, okay? No injuries thus far. All right, moving on. Another tough game. Geez, this fixture, they weren't wrong about the difficulty of this fixture that they've given us. Collingwood versus Geelong at the G. Massive game. Massive game. How did we go against them last year? Someone remind me. They beat us later in the year. That was when Jeremy Cameron was playing on Isaac Quaynor. I do remember that. So, what do you reckon, guys? Help me out. Chris, do you reckon Collingwood by 24 against Geelong? I mean, they're only getting older, right? Just like Collingwood, they're only getting older. So I don't know if they've got the legs in them anymore. Or at least that's what I'm trying to convince myself with. Ollie Henry, he doesn't mind playing well against us, that little rascal. So we're 5-2. Hey, I reckon Collingwood take this one out. I reckon Collingwood pump Geelong by 6 goals. It's going to be one of our biggest wins for the year. Yeah. There we go. Brilliant. All right, we got some breath into the laptop. Thank you. There we go. All right. So we're 6-2 right now. Come on, laptop. Fucking work for me. All right. Fremantle, Perth. They just missed finals. I think we give this one. Look, we play well against Freo at Perth. I know that much, right? But they're younger. They're getting their games under their belt. I think they get us. Do you think they get us? What do you reckon? Do Fremantle get the Pies in Perth? Round 9. So Freo will probably be top 4. I reckon we let this one slip. Freo, though, got players in. Yeah, they got who they got? Shea Bolton. Who else they get? Shai Bolton. Help me out. Where'd Sam Baker go? He didn't go to the Eagles, did he? Did Sam Baker Liam Baker go to the Eagles? Shai Bolton and someone else, no? We should have bet them last year if it wasn't for the umpire's call. All right. I'm going to go. Fremantle are going to make a massive announcement to the league themselves, and they're going to beat Collingwood, who are 6-2 or 5-2. We'll clarify that. So right now we are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 3 and 2. Wait, hold on. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. 3-1. 4-1. 4-2, 5-2, 6-2. Freo get us by 21 points. We're now 6-3 going into this game against Adelaide. And it's always a cracker. So Collingwood versus Adelaide. And that game at the G where De Goey, he had 26 touches, 2 goals, played no midfield time, and just dominated. And that was probably one of the last couple games before he got injured again. So once again, look, the fixtures have been difficult, but I will say we are getting the rub. We've got the rubber, not the rubber, the green, but we're getting a lot of these games at the G, which is where we want them, right? Of course. Mm-hmm. We should win. Surely we win. Murphy Reed. Yeah, from the draft. That's right. Quinton Narkle. I won't lose sleep over Quinton Narkle traveling to Perth. You know what I mean, Woody? Sparkly Narkly. Can't drop games like that. These are the games. These are the games we can't drop. So last year we dropped games against Gold Coast. We dropped multiple points against Essendon. Who else? What was that? Yeah, disappointing losses. Gold Coast, Essendon, Fremantle with the draw. That Western Bulldogs game probably should have been within the game. It was a winnable game. Prior to it, you wouldn't say that. But going into Adelaide will be great. They're going to be competitive. They could be a top 4 team. Their ceiling is top 4, and their bottom ceiling is bottom 4. That's how volatile I feel Adelaide are. So I'm going to go Collingwood by 23 points. Collingwood by 4. We beat them by 1, then 2. So it's going to be 4 now. All right, we'll roll with that then. We're Collingwood by 4, less than a goal. More heartache for us, right? That's what we want, don't we? All right, fixture. All right, so we go into round 11, 7-3, and we finally get. Hey, last time I said we've got a bye round, an easy game against North. They had us by 54 points at one stage, and then we had to come back. So, and it's at Etihad Stadium. So this is going to be. It's never easy. No games are easy. Once again, where do North find themselves this year? Are they going to be mid-table? Are they going to be out of the bottom 4? With the perspective of knowing that we can't be dropping these games and how complacent we've been and sloppy we've been starting these games against North Melbourne, like Manny said, surely from the first bounce we can get them. I'm going to go 42 points. Just to set a statement, just to say, hey, you've had us early in games in previous years, but this time we're gonna come out with the right mentality and be aggressive from the start and be relentless. 42 points. All right. Moving on. Here we go. Where we go with this one? So we're currently 8-3. Yeah. You probably don't want to lose any more than 6 games in the year if you want to make top 4. Interesting to see how North will do this season, but should be a 5-goal win. It's achievable. Yeah, it's achievable. If you're a Collingwood fan, you're not saying that you don't believe Collingwood can beat North by more than 5 goals in 2025, then hey. So Manny, tell me, do we go with the headlines? Collingwood will get their payback on Hawthorn, or do we go the monkey is still on the back? Collingwood can't beat Hawthorn. Which way are we going with this fixture, guys? I'm conflicted because these are the games that scare me. At the G, they move the ball so well. Reverse season this year, you got to right some wrongs. So you reckon we're going to vindicate ourselves? The Collingwood faithful are going to be rewarded. I want to know how many of you truly believe Collingwood will beat Hawthorn in this fixture. See, Benny, Hawks will get us again, unfortunately, but the boys to finally beat the Hawks. All right, we'll put it in. All right, done. We'll go Collingwood to beat the Hawks. How about that? Collingwood. 1 point? Or do we go a draw? Do we go? Hey, can we do a draw? Or is that pointless? Or is that good for percentage? Because Collingwood don't historically in the last few years, as far as I can remember, just don't pump teams. I believe Collingwood will win. Draw or win? We beat them Hawks last year. Yeah, okay. Draw or win? What do we want? Draw or win? Draw or win? What are we saying? Collingwood by 3. Got to do 1 draw this season. I feel like this could be the draw. I'm going to go draw. I'm sorry, draw. See how important this match is in the scheme of things. Yep, done. Done, Woody. Done. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going with the draw. Okay. Where are we now? Melbourne versus Collingwood. So this is King's birthday. And a lot of people are saying that Melbourne will slide even further down with some of the issues they're having at the club. But Melbourne fans will say this is the way we want it going into the year. So it'll be interesting where Melbourne find themselves. They drafted well. Who'd they get again? Was it Armstrong and someone else? I forget their names. Or not Armstrong. So I'm horrible with new players' names. So I do know the faces, but they brought 2 players who could, maybe Woody can help me out, 2 players who could play some handy footy in their rookie year. So not that that's going to play a massive factor. Yeah, do we get the Wood over Petrarca? What do you reckon? I reckon if Collingwood beat Melbourne, maybe we get Petrarca. Maybe he goes, man, I just want to play with these guys. I reckon Collingwood win. We do really well. We've always done well against Melbourne, especially in the King's birthday fixture. We beat them in that qualifying final. I think Stephen May's still butthurt about losing that game. They said they were the best team in the league that year, but Collingwood got the flag. So up yours, brother. Pies by 4. 4 goals. Lindsay and Lingard. There you go. Langford. I was right. Okay. Langford and Lindsay. Yep. Okay. So currently 1-2. We're 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, 5-2, 6-2, 6-3, 7-3, 8-3, 8-1-3, 9-1-3. So that's handy. And we go to St Kilda at the Docklands. 3-goal win would be good. Still feel Melbourne is a good defensive team. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now this game pained me to lose last year. I don't know why. Maybe it was that Jack Higgins goal. I'm not sure. But they did serve me good entertainment in that final round against Carlton. That was hilarious, wasn't it? Probs lose this. Woody, Probs lose this one. Hey, if you do a fixture prediction, St Kilda's just too good. You're a funny cunt, man. St Kilda just too good. So that's a St Kilda supporter wearing a facade, a masquerade as a Collingwood fan in this chat, trying to give St Kilda the win here. But I'm too witty for you, mate. I'm too witty for you. I think, you know what? For that, hey, Woody, for that, hold on a second. Woody, for that, this is what I'm going to do. See this? Ready? Here we go. Collingwood by 63 against the Saints. We won't be dropping this game. Bit of percentage, you know, even though that kind of doesn't matter. Time him out. Nah, Woody's a good man, Benny. Yeah, cop that. That's going to be our biggest win for the year too. Yeah, okay. All right, moving on. 10-1-3. 10 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses. Oh, yes. All right, here we go. That'd be a good watch, Hartark. Collingwood versus West Coast at the Docklands. Who remembers? So not this last season, the year before, or was it 2021, 2022, 2021? One or the other, where they scored like 15 goals for behinds, and we just could not throw a footy. I know it's a basketball term, but couldn't throw a footy into the ocean if we tried. We couldn't land it there. That's how it felt that game, and they got us. So who have they got? They got Liam. Okay, so Liam Baker went to West Coast. They got a couple draftees. Oscar Allen. I did say that we're talking a clean slate. Everyone's healthy for both sides. No Tom Barras is going to be massive. If we drop this out, yeah, this would be a great choke, a great capitulation in round 16. It would be a great capitulation in round 16 to lose this game as we're looking to build momentum. So we'll go Collingwood. I think they'll give us a good shot. Let's go Collingwood by a goal and a half. How about that? Ned, how you going? 17th premiership upcoming. Huge. I can't wait, man. Look, I will say one thing about the premiership in 2023. I didn't fully embrace it in the sense that I didn't go out to the city to experience the fanfare. I watched it at a pub and then I went home and then I was like, yeah, cool, I'm content. Like, that's sweet. Whatever. Maybe I was scared I'd get a little too drunk and that held me back. So next time, hopefully this year when we win, Ned, we'll see each other out in the city and we can soak it up. So I appreciate the dono there, man. Thanks, man. Shot. Collingwood versus Eagles, 100 points. Membry and D-Max, 7 goals each. Screenshot that. Stephanos, screenshot that, and we can revisit that for that round, eh? Reckon Reed will give us a bit of a bath, but everyone around him fail. What about this? Perryman, Coles, Reed impact in round 16 at Docklands, at Marvel, Etihad, whatever you want to call it, right? I think Harry Perryman, those heart attack material there. I know you got to put a couple of them. Like, you look at our recent history, Manny, and we don't win games by much. And the way the game's being played these days, teams will go on a tear. They're up by 4 or 5 goals, and the other team says, let's throw caution to the wind and let's just play super aggressive. So we're going to see more of that, unfortunately. So we've got to put a couple in them. All right. Moving on. Yeah. Heart attack central, man. Okay. Here we go. This is the one. This is why we give Carlton the one early in the year. Now we're 11. We might be 11-1, 11 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses right now. So round 17, Carlton versus Collingwood. And this game would go a long way for us in solidifying that top 4 position. And I imagine Carlton will be around the mark. So if we can do something to put ourselves in a likely position, a desirable position, and put Carlton somewhere where they don't want to be, like we did in 2022, then we can do that late in the year. And that's what we're going to do. Collingwood by 1 point. I'm sorry, Manny. More heart attack, yeah? Sorry. I reckon anything above a 7-goal win against Eagles will be good next year. We actually need to stop. We need to stop giving up such high leads. It's a tough one, man. It is a tough one because, like I said, the league is just changing the way they're playing. Pendle said in an interview multiple times, I think he mentioned maybe there's a mindset shift for a lot of teams next year, rather than playing conservative when you're up. It's the mantra, the conditioning throughout the preseason will be to implore the players that if you're up by 5 goals, you need to keep going that way and be willing to cough up goals in that fashion rather than setting up shop and being happy with your 5-goal lead. So I think that we might see that more. Who knows? Lockie, how you going, brother? Welcome. Good to see you, man. How you doing? You hiding away from the heat? 10 points for Collingwood. Carlton will have half their team uninjured by then. That's right. Carlton home game, we give them PTSD. Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, creating the excuses for them now. Manifesting it for Carlton. All right. So We've got our final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's still quite a few games. All right. All right. Is this a game we drop? Gold Coast, the John Noble game. You know, he wears his heart on his sleeve, and I'm sure Gold Coast will want to come out for Johnny Noble. Dan Rioli will be there as well. It's finals a bust for Gold Coast next year, in my opinion. They've set the precedent and the standard really high moving forward. This is in Gold Coast. We had our trouble. We've had difficult games against them. Yeah, maybe it's like Josh said, it's the Matt Rao Cup. Whoever wins gets to keep or get Matt Rao. I've got a funny feeling about this one. This one irks me. All W's, Dima. Hey, I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that, but we've got to be humble. See what it looks like. I'd say we get the win against the Suns. I agree with that, but it's our year. I just wonder how much the emotion of the John Noble trade plays into this game. Not necessarily the trade, but what happened to him in 2023. That's been brewing. That's been manifesting within him for a very long time. And I feel like the team is going to want to do it for him. This is a game that scares me. Tark, we can very easily drop this. Suns look good. This is going to be could be our most disappointing loss of the season. Gold Coast by 37 points. All right. I'm sorry. I've got to do it. And this is for them to make the 8, because this period, this final quarter of the year for Gold Coast has been where they're very disappointing. Noble legacy game. Totally agree. It's our year, man. All right. Moving on. So we go back to the G. We get Freo. They're flying. But at this point, this is a game where we're standing at 4 losses at the moment. We've got a draw on our hands early in the season against Hawthorn. They've beaten us in the reverse fixture in Perth. I think we have to go Collingwood at this point. I think we do, for the sake of our top 4 hopes. We're going to bounce back. We lost by 37 points the week before. We're going to go Collingwood by 37. Lockie Schultz, how many goals? 3, 4? What does he want? What's he going to give us? All the shit we've been giving him last season, he's going to spit it back in our face in this game in particular. Collingwood, but not by 60, maybe like 30. We're trying to lock in us. We're trying to lock in top 4. Does Squiggle have us losing to Richmond? Actually, we'll have a look at that. I should have done that, Josh. I didn't check before we started what the algorithm gave us. Let me check. So 37 points. We'll go Collingwood 37 points. All right. So I'm sorry, I didn't check. Let's see what the algorithm gave. So Richmond Squiggle, which is the website we're using, gave Richmond the win by 50 points. That's just not happening, is it? They gave Brisbane a win. We'll talk about that in a second. They gave Hawthorn the win. They give Adelaide the win, or they gave us a win. And then our final fixture, round 24, they gave Collingwood the win against Melbourne. So what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of our 6 last games we play at the G. So that's going to work very well. So let's rectify. Let's correct this error of Squiggle, right? And what they say, 50 points to them. Fuck them. I'm going to give 50 points to Collingwood. Are you serious? Mate, half of their team are going to be comprised of fucking first and second year players. Sure, like they're all great players. Lawler, Thomas Sims, Traynor, and everyone else in between. But look, they've lost Shai Bolton. They lost Liam Baker, Rioli. Squiggles off his head. Collingwood by 50. Get out of here, man. So before we amend anything else, we're currently 16-6-1 according to the algorithm, which somehow, hold on a minute, somehow six losses will get you top 2. Interesting. All right, moving on. All right. We all remember this game, Collingwood versus Brisbane at the G last year. So for context, we gave Brisbane the result earlier for the Easter game at the Gabba. Do Brisbane, so here's my thought process behind Brisbane, right? They've been scratching or knocking at the doors of prelims and then grand finals over the last 5, 6, 7 years, and it eluded them for the longest time, champs. And then they win the grand final last year. So what have they got left in them? Much like Joe Danaher. He's like, oh, I've been chasing this dream for the longest time. We failed that many times. We fell just short. That fueled the fire, right? Whereas now, yeah, they could be chasing a dynasty, but do they have it? Do they have it in them? So at this point, I feel like Brisbane's wheels will fall off later in the year, and we're going to go Collingwood in another nail biter. Another nail biter. 2 points. Take this very close. Only playing our last 6 games of the G. This is fixture bias manifest. My estimations aren't even finished, and I have them less than 5%. Collingwood by 6. There we go. Guys, I have started a Discord, right? So I'd like, if you guys want to talk on a daily basis, anything and everything Collingwood, I haven't pushed it too much just yet. My intention was to push it more as we started the live streams. And it's just literally just chatting shit the whole time, yeah? Users. Okay, here we go. I've got the code. If you want to join Discord, it's like for those who don't know what it is, it's like a messenger or MSN if you want to go that far back. Something like, it's like WhatsApp, yeah? But it's a group. So that's the link. That's the Discord link if you want to join. It's the invite code. And then just ask any questions. Like I'll be in it every day responding, and whatever you want to do, whatever you want to ask, whatever you want to talk about, just put it in there, and yeah, we'll generate some conversation in there. So click on that link. Click on that link for sure. I can't work Discord. It's above me. Yeah, nah, it's Lockie. It's not something maybe your generation would be completely privy to. But if you get your head around it, join the conversation, brother. All right, moving on. So we have, how many more games do we have left, guys? 3 games left. So the algorithm gave Hawthorn this game. We drew against them. Here's my thought process. Round 22, second game against Hawthorn. They pumped us last year. We drew against them, and now it's their home game. This could be Clash of the Titans type of game going into the finals. This could be a appetizer for what we could expect to look forward to in the finals. We might see this fixture in the finals. Problem is, you need to beat or be competitive against the teams that you lost to or play against in the home and away season to take that confidence into the final series. I know Port beat Brisbane or beat Sydney by 120 points, and then they beat them in the finals. I understand that, but generally speaking, those are the anomalies, right? This will be a Friday night game for sure. They'll probably put that on a Friday night. How do you think Membry will go? I think Membry will be good, Chris. How do you think he'll go? How many goals have you got in for, Chris, this year? Could be a top 4 decider. I reckon we have to come out against Hawthorn and bring the best we ever had. I reckon Pies by 7. For my headspace, I have to pick Collingwood here. Collingwood by 3 points. What do you reckon? Williams, this is the most fruitless exercise I've ever seen. Make sure you revise your predictions when the actual results come in. My prediction is none will be correct. I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy for you. What a Frank. Get out of here, Williams. Nobody likes you here, mate. Membry will be the most underrated signing of the season. Huge. 20 goals. If Tim gets 35 plus, I'd be happy. Huge. All right, let's go Collingwood by 3. Williams, how do you like that? Collingwood by 3. How do you like that one? Sadie, get out of here, man. Williams. Is that your first name or surname? Frank. Frank. All right. Bro, 0 from 23 would actually be impressive in its own right. Sorry, what do you mean, Woody? 0 from 23. Yeah, that it would be so hard. It would be so hard to pick 0 of the 23 fixtures. That would be crazy. Big L, Joe. Big L for William, bro. Get him out of here, man. I don't even know, bro. Discord, it didn't work. Let me try it again. Oh, I gave the wrong link. Cass. I'm sorry. I gave the wrong link. Try this one, guys. Discord chat. Sorry, guys. That's an L from me. L William. Get in the chat. I'll put in as well. L William. L William. Hold on. Frank. L William Frank. That's what his name's going to be. William L Frank. That's what you get. That's who you are, bro. You're a Frank. L William Frank. Okay. Yeah, so that's a Discord chat, guys. So if you want to join in on daily conversations, I'll be in there responding to everything. Click on or use that invite code. That's the code there on the left. Join there. All right. So after beating Hawthorn by 3 points, where do we stand? What does that look like on the ladder with these two results standing as they are? William Renier, Frank. Fucking Franks in here, man. Some Franks. All right. So right now, Prince William, mummy's waiting for you. Ella Mittera. All right. Collingwood right now, 18-4-1 with and our percentage is going to be low. I can't see our percentage being 130, 135. Tomo, how you going, man? I see you on the streams. See you grinding on the streams, man. Good man. Mario Malaka. Ella. William, Felis Apo Piso. Collingwood, 18-4-1. So I think at this point, right, top 4 sealed. Pies winning it all in 2025. So we've done well. Do we do what we do in 2023? We give Adelaide the win. Okay, so let's hold on a minute. We'll give Adelaide. Let's go here. Fixture. We'll give Adelaide the win at Adelaide Oval. Okay. We've solidified. We'll rest DeGoey, Nick Dacos. Maybe he can chill off half back. Pendles will be resting. Side bottom will be chilling. Adelaide get their tails up there. They're holding on for dear life to get into top 8 at this point. You know, they're 2 points off the eighth spot. We'll throw them a bone. Okay? Because look where we stand still. All right. It's resting players. We'll rest, but the last game, who we have, Melbourne, you want to get the gears churning a little bit more, right? You reckon channeling is in a Cyril, Bobby? Maybe big bad Bobby will just carry us to the Adelaide win, but we'll give them the result. You're with the Port Nuffies, Peter. Peter, were you a Port Adelaide Magpie fan? So were you a Port Adelaide Magpie fan, or are you from Melbourne? Adelaide are rubbish. You reckon they'll be rubbish next year, Chris? Where do you think they'll finish? I was saying in the chat earlier, Chris, that Adelaide, they could be a top 6 team, but they could also be a bottom 4 team. What are you doing on holiday in Adelaide? What's in Adelaide, Peter? You know, if I had family in Adelaide, they couldn't convince me to come to Adelaide for a holiday, unless it's gather around with Manny. Unless it's Manny's the exception to the rule. I'm sorry. I'll go to gather around and have some souvlakia at Manny's house. I'll do that. All right. Obviously to see Manny. Obviously. That's the caveat. That's the only exception. Don't drink the water. So don't drink the water in Tasmania and Adelaide, right? I've never seen so many women with tats. No good, mate. Yeah. Tattoos on women. Tattoos on girls is okay if they're not sleeves. And if it's not too hectic. Like I'll cop a few cute spots here and there, but I won't cop sleeves and or the American style where it's just all over the arms. I wouldn't do that much. Adelaide of crap. Crows finish outside the 8 again. So we need to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the. All right, let's do Collingwood Melbourne fixture. So Collingwood will find a rhythm just before the finals. Let's go Collingwood by 30, and Melbourne finished bottom 2. They're tanking. They're tanking for draft picks at this point. Okay, 29 points. So that's the ladder going into the finals. So, look at that. Let's have a look. Can we get a Collingwood versus Hawthorn qualifying final? Let's look at the games that the algorithm have given against Hawthorn. So here's the thing. Do Carlton beat Hawthorn even though Hawthorn bent them over in that last fixture? Was there any real sus results? Also, hey, Chris, this algorithm said Collingwood would lose against Richmond by 50 points, but they gave Hawthorn the result by 70 points. Oh, okay, so this is the one we're going to make amends to. Hawthorn versus North, they've given the result to North by 19 points. So just to manipulate this ladder, we'll go Hawthorn by 61. And there we go. So we get a qualifying final against the Hawks. Here we go. And Brisbane versus Fremantle, Geelong versus Sydney. Replay of the 22 grand final. Zero graffiti in a clean railway station. Melbourne has turned into a shithole. Sorry to hear that, Peter. I won't be at Gather Round this year, Tomo. Maybe next year. Imagine versus Guinea. Well, that would be huge. And that's what we're going to get in this simulator. So we'll go Collingwood at the G. Home ground spitting at the TV. Dog! This is every time he ducks for a free kick. Collingwood. And I reckon Sydney, they've lost the fire. Top 8. I think the algorithm is onto something here. I think they're onto something here. So Geelong, Sydney, they're done. They're mentally cooked after these grand final results. Dog. And then Bulldogs versus Adelaide. That's an easy one, I think. Brisbane versus Fremantle. I think Brisbane at the Gabba. I got the guts, lad. Oh, yes, lad. Not to the talents of my level, lad. We got the guts for it, lad. Oh, yes, lad. Lions are our bunnies. All right, well, at least, look, Brisbane win, yeah? And we win. We don't have to worry about them to the grand final. Discord link's still dead. Are you shitting me? Let me see. Nah. You must not be doing something right. You must not be doing... Guys, if one of you want to try this Discord code, because it should work. It should work. Boomer's saying it's not working. Chris, if you have Discord, can you try join this Discord with this code? All right. Discord link doesn't work. It worked for the first time for Josh, for the first link. Okay, so the one I just reposted is the first link. So try that, okay? Talk anything and everything Collingwood, guys. All right. Hawks versus Geelong. That would, so imagine getting Collingwood versus Hawthorn in a qualifying final. You know what you're probably doing wrong, Boomer? You're probably not doing you're supposed to copy the link or screenshot it and then put the code. So Boomer, you're probably just getting the code wrong, brother. You're probably just you need to do the final not to baby you, but are you doing the SFJ at the end in capital letters? Yeah, punch in that code. You got to punch it in. Make sure you get the uppercase and lowercase right. All right. So as I said, imagine getting Collingwood versus Hawthorn in a qualifying final, Geelong Sydney in an elimination final. That's a grand final replay. This would be 100 points both sides. Bulldogs Adelaide. Brisbane, Fremantle, the interstate teams, that's got a narrative behind it as well. And then you get Hawks versus Geelong, and we know about their storied history between the two, right? There you go. Thanks, Josh. Yeah. Josh says, copy the code, go to Discord and click add a server and then enter the code. There you go. Good man. Good man. All right. I think we go Hawks here. So Brisbane versus Hawks is another cracker. And then Fremantle or Bulldogs. I think Fremantle, as good as Fremantle are going to be next year or this year, I think Bulldogs are starving for another prelim final opportunity. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is another story. That is Adam Treloar, Caleb Poulter, Bont versus the Goey, Nick Dacos versus maybe Riley. What's his name? Riley. Who's the youngster guy? Riley. What's his name? Riley Sanders. Riley Sanders versus Nick Dacos. That's a great result. Brisbane versus Hawks is Jack Gunston. Yeah, Sanders. Riley West. Frank. Riley Sanders, man. Riley West. I know who you're talking about. Riley Sanders, though. He'll be better than West. Yeah. So Lions versus Hawks is Gunston and yeah, just his old team, right? So this will be tough. If we came up against Bulldogs, we know how streaky they can be and how dominant they can be in short bursts. This is the type of game where Bulldogs could run away with 5 goals in the first quarter, but obviously that's not going to happen. We're going to go Collingwood into the grand final. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Brisbane versus Hawks? Brisbane versus Hawks. What would you guys prefer? I need comments. Would you prefer a Collingwood Brisbane or Collingwood Hawthorn grand final? But we've already played Hawthorn in a qualifying final. I feel like this is somewhat obvious. I don't know. Let me see your comments. Collingwood versus Hawthorn or Collingwood versus Brisbane? Tell me. I'll wait. I will be waiting. Rematch? Grand final rematch every day. Okay, Josh. Okay. Hawks would make me very nervous, man. Pies versus Lions. That's easy to say you're out though, yeah. Like imagine the qualifying finals, a controversial win for the Pies, some shocking umpire decision. It would make the story crazy. Collingwood versus Brisbane, I take the Lions. As a 90s kid, Lions need to see them get whooped by us more in a granny to heal from the trauma. Yeah, from the trauma in the early 2000s. Collingwood, Brisbane, payback, 2 flags each. Us versus Brizzy. Wow. I thought it would be more. I thought the obvious answer would have been Collingwood versus Hawthorn. No? Collingwood versus Brisbane. Okay. Either, says Brody. But the question is, do Hawthorn in this type of fixture, do they beat Brisbane? Did the Hawks beat Brisbane last year? Does anybody remember if Hawthorn beat Brisbane last year? Go Hawks. Go Hawks. I think we have more of a chance against the Lions. I wouldn't mind thrashing Guinea in the grand final. Interest. No? No, what? No, they didn't. Hawks L against Lions. Hawthorn always beat Brisbane, I think. Hawthorn beat Brisbane. Oh, Hawks beat. Okay. All right. Fuck it. I'm sorry. We'll go Pies versus Hawks. I think that would be crazy. Like, imagine the amount of fights there would be post game. But when was the last time we got a serious rivalry match type of grand final? Yeah. What was last year? Brisbane versus Sydney, Collingwood versus Brisbane. It's like they bring 10,000 supporters to. I mean, I know it's Fitzroy, but it's not Collingwood versus Hawthorn. It's not Hawthorn versus Essendon. It's not Carlton versus another Melbourne team. This would be crazy. This in the streets would be crazy. I'd be scared. And I'd be nervous. I'd be very nervous. Yes, at Marvel, they beat them. Richmond versus Geelong. Well, that was the caveat there, Brody, was it was obviously in Brisbane, right? It was at the Gabba. Collingwood versus Hawks. Melbourne would be crazy, bro. You'd have to come down, Benny. Yeah. Won't beat Pies. Won't beat Pies. What are you saying, Chris? Won't beat Pies versus Granny. That'll be the biggest, yeah. Pies versus Blues would be crazy. But actually, guys, interestingly enough, the algorithm doesn't have Carlton in the 8. So what are some interesting omissions here? So West Coast, they get 6 wins. North, so they have North down there still, unfortunately. West Coast, Richmond. You can see this happening. This is also very surprising because in these 9 wins, I gave Gold Coast one of the wins to Collingwood. St Kilda robbed. St Kilda robbed Woody. Yeah, this is interesting. This will be interesting. Who knows? This feels about right. This will be one to watch here. Port under negative wins, under 500. I feel living through Pies versus Blues grand final. I have Blues family members. It caused a rift in the fam. It wouldn't be good for the relationships, would it? Sydney 8, can see that. Can see Adelaide maybe sliding in. Bulldogs just perpetually find themselves in this position. 6, 7, 8. Algorithm still has Geelong top 5, Fremantle and Brisbane, and Hawthorn. Crows are not making the 8 above GWS, FFS. Bombers gonna crash this year. I think Carlton will make it. There you go. All right. Anyways, it's been good having you all. Good to see you guys again. I'll probably do a quiz in a few days just to keep the interest there and the ball rolling. And hopefully the preseason can get started sooner rather than later, post-Christmas, of course, and we'll get some content out. So thanks for all 50 odd of you for being here, and we'll see you very shortly. Go Pies.